Hello, everybody! Welcome back to Kiyoko's Route, episode 3, I think. I thought this was just gonna be 1, but gosh darn, is this a long endeavor. Anyway, you don't need a recap. You can actually just give me a kiss, and we can just get going like that, I think. I think that's actually fair. Anyway, welcome. Let's go ahead and get into this. Having spoken to Kiyoko yesterday, her upbeat voice still lingers on my mind, filled with the same sense of happiness I've become accustomed to. Oh dude, it's the double clicky. Oh man, that's not gonna be fun. Destroying that facade, forcing her to realize what she truly feels, that in itself will break me. However, I can't hold her back from herself any longer. Those deep chestnut eyes, shining through the glint of her glasses, they still hold Naomi at heart. Today's going to be busy. Alright, looks like we can skip a Rooney. We can skip that too since it's blank. Blank. Alright, another day to look forward to. Well, at least what comes after class. The melodic drag of lessons, rhythmically draining the energy out of me, only for it to be revitalized by her cute and endearing smile. I was never really one for clubs, but somehow her whimsical antics have roped me in. I enjoy spending time with her. Boom. Looks like we can skip this too because it's blanked out. Chitose can eat my ass. Skip it again. Still blank. Ken, we have already seen Ken. I regret skipping Ken, but you know, at the same time, we gotta get on with the show. Skip, skip. I don't know why it's not skipping all the way through, but that's...
I don't know what you mean by it's getting warmer.
Okay, so it doesn't have the option to skip. There we go. So our hotbar went away, so we couldn't skip at the moment. Anyway. Oh, we might actually get through this. This actually might be the last episode. We skipped a lot of dialogue, which is epic. Because it's not new, it's just old material. As usual, a chirpy smile greets me from the other side of the room as she makes her way closer to me, Kiyoko. Lips curled up into the trademark smile, her brown eyes flash against the sunlight sweeping the room. An image of spring caught up against her hazel irids? I don't know what that word is. I'm gonna be honest, I'm Siberian. I'm guessing she wants to head to the cafeteria. It is lunchtime after all.
Hey, I need your help.
What with? Did you forget your lunch money or something?
What? No. I want to do research. That's an important part of science. It's how discoveries are made.
Now looking somewhat stern, Kiyoko pouts in annoyance as I continue to look on towards her, somehow holding a blush against the soft, pale skin of her cheeks. What?
What?
I still can't tell exactly what is going on. You know I'm not good at science. Can't you just wait until the club? There'd need to be an earthquake for my stomach to rumble harder.
That's the thing. I want to research lunch. There's a new sandwich on the menu. I want to check it out.
What is it this time? 100% Welsh chicken? Okay, and that's research how?
Because I said so. Sheesh, you're no fun.
Pouting once again, it appears to me that Kiyoko's finally starting to reveal her feisty side.
Anyway, you coming to lunch with me? We'll do the real research later.
Taking hold of my arm, Kiyoko apparently has no qualms with dragging me out of class in front of fellow students. Reflecting on the ordeal from earlier, I can't help but feel glad that I am friends with her. This girl before me, hair swaying as a result of her paced steps towards the corridor, all the while smiling as she looks back towards me. There's no way in hell she's a fraud. This is Kiyoko Ishikawa. Nothing is going to change that. Joining Kiyoko in the cafeteria, an aura of busy school life, accompanied by the smell of sizzling food, wafts around us as she continues to pull on my arm. I don't really know how fierce these new sandwiches are, but they're probably nothing compared to the ferocity she's enduing on my wrist.
Come on, they'll be all gone otherwise.
Approaching the relatively short line for food, it doesn't take me long to grab a bite to eat, which doesn't count as an obscure reference. Alright. Rice, mixed vegetables, and curry. It doesn't get more generic than this.
I haven't eaten here in a while. I've forgotten how good the food is.
Kiyoko forgetting something? That's an oddity in itself. But nevertheless, I'd always expected her to go somewhere for food. Where do you normally eat?
I bring my own.
Pulling out a small lunchbox from her bag, Kiyoko gleams with joy as she presents it out to me. A cutesy pink plastic box decorated with little pictures of flasks, atoms, and test tubes, an assortment of the type of things people would imagine when you think of science. And you still brought that with you? Even though you planned to eat here from the beginning? Cheeks turning a rosy shade, she averts her eyes away from mine, almost to concede the fact she's easily embarrassed. Her cute side shining through. Well, shining through her normal cute side.
I was thinking we can share it later. I'm not made of money. Only oxygen, carbon, that sort of stuff. Buying food is expensive.
That sort of stuff. I can't help but feel I've avoided a detailed explanation of the composition of the human body. Is that a Full Metal Alchemist reference? By the way, I think that show's really overhyped, and honestly, it's probably a 6 out of 10 for me. Unpopular opinion. Anyway, on with the show. In any case, Kiyoko's cheeks still cling to their reddish complexion as she finally lowers her hands, eyes now facing forward to address me.
I used to get food here a lot. With her.
What, Naomi? Almost flinching at her name, Kiyoko regresses back to a state of woe I was only introduced to merely days ago. Embraced by the afternoon light, letting her feelings out to me in our very clubroom. What's the deal with you and her anyway, if you don't mind me asking? Tiptoeing around the issue isn't going to solve our problems. I'd probably break her to know that It'd probably break her, rather. Dan Rather is my favorite news anchor. Let's start that over. It'd probably break her to know that I've heard it all from Naomi behind the scenes, but I came into this with a goal, to make her happy. Whatever I think of Naomi, whatever definitions we give each other, none of that matters. Kiyoko's happiness, in turn, is my own. Joining the club would have been a mistake otherwise. I'm not even into science. Averting her eyes once again, Kiyoko mulls in silence as her teeth sink down into her almost glossy lips, a sign of contemplation.
I'm not ready to tell you.
Teardrops hanging upon her eyes, the girl before me takes on yet another new tone, showing me the truth she's locked deep within her heart.
It's just painful to think about.
Whenever you're ready, I'm ready. As hard as it is, coercing her into a position to talk about her problems is ultimately the only way to address this problem. To show her the bonds which she's missing, the feelings she's hiding from herself. It wouldn't be like being invited to her house to dinner, only to have her unleash her thoughts upon me. Giving her the simplest solution to tackle the hardest problem is the only right way through this.
It's not like I don't want to.
A quiet, gloomy voice, yet one strangely warm. Despite her unique personality, at the heart of it, Kiyoko is, of course, an ordinary girl. Her and Naomi, they're the same. Hurt. Feelings of the past, dictating their futures. Part of me just wants to find Naomi and make them tell each other how they really feel. But within me, I know it'll be harder than that. Plus, I don't want to start any weird rumors. I'm sure Naomi gets shipped with enough people already.
We should finish up. Lunch will be over soon.
You're right. Still, the feelings within me can't be contained for much longer. I want to help her. I want to see her adorable smile once again. Transition time. Yet another ring of the bell. Yet another signal that class is over for the day. The usual routine, kicking in almost instantaneously. Classmates around me rising from their seats, no regards for our teacher's closing remarks. Sounds of chatter, conversation flowing through the air as the pent-up social life teenagers live us crave for is unleashed. That didn't make sense to me. I will move on regardless. Weaving through the bonds of friends and fellows. It's only Monday, but with activity like this, you'd think the weekend had just about started. Joining in the commotion, I too raise from my seat to continue on with my routine. Looking around for Kiyoko, look around for Kiyoko, follow her merry nature to the science labs, sit and watch as she sets up something beyond my comprehension. Her slender little fingers jotting down each and every result as she occasionally chews her pen in frustration. That's the Kiyoko I've come to know.
We can leave for shopping another day. I don't want to bore you. I really had fun today. I wouldn't want to ruin it.
Each and every moment with her truly is fun, and a little cute too, which all in all makes today's trip a little bit brighter. Kiyoko too seemed pretty keen on doing this. There's no doubt within me to know that she finds it fun too. A carefree yet somehow misunderstood girl and a cliched, half-assed guy. What a duet. As much as I could mull over Kiyoko's quirks and features, the importance of Naomi's words cast a shadow over the three of us. I want you to help me. It's not like I couldn't imagine the very same words seeping from Kiyoko's hearts too. The same feeling of isolation. It's truly as she said, it's not like I don't want to. When the time is right, she'll look out to find Naomi too. Still standing in what is slowly becoming an emptied room, all I can do now is make my way over to her desk. Still sitting there fiddling with her equipment as she desperately tries to cram the bulk into a tiny pink case. I make my way to beside her. Like a deer entwined in a moment of fear, Kiyoko scurries her body backwards with a jolt, knocking her stationery over the edge of the table. An audible clash of noise ensuing as everything and anything smacks against the floor, items rolling off in various directions. Against my usual instinct of apathetically letting something like this go unnoticed, I brace over and gather her assortment of bits and bobs, returning them to the table. Please, I need her bobs. You okay? What's with the jitteriness?
I'm not jittery. You just startled me.
Flourishing her words with a rightful pout, Kiyoko bats her eyes away from mine as if in angst over her own clumsiness. This type of behavior, coming from her at least, is certainly different, if not odd. I'm sorry? Whether it's the right thing to say, it's all I can really do to ease her unusual feelings. The words themselves unfaze her, still poised with a pout as she puffs her pale cheeks out at me once more, quickly to resume a somewhat normal sense of self.
It's okay. It makes up for me having to clean up that experiment.
Looking back upon that day, I still can't get the thought of her panties out of my head, but either way, both accidents were entirely her fault. So we're equal then. Having only met her due to her truancy from class cleaning duties in the first place, the scale of who's cleaned up the most certainly tips in my favor.
I guess. Anyway, we need to get to the club. I forgot to check what we needed.
For someone who's supposed to be smart, you really have a poor sense of organization.
Huh? Is that an insult?
I don't think I was supposed to say that.
You're right, though. I don't really need to think about those things.
It's not like it bothers her much in the end. She knows it's all in jest. We're friends. Strolling through the corridor as usual at the end of the school's day, Kiyoko scurrying along by my side, we quickly approach the very same doorway through to the labs. Even here, the sound of other clubs reveling in fun and games burst through the halls and the windows. Whilst here, the two of us remain silent, just the two of us, together. Kiyoko's hand delicately grips the handle, almost a sense of care put into her actions as she slowly slides open the door. light from the windows across the room shining gently upon her face, her features glowing as they embrace it.
Welcome to the...
Do we really need to do this again? Stepping inside, Kiyoko's feet tap against the floor as her head scans the room before turning towards my own. I can't help but ruin her fun. It's obvious with the disgruntled look peering towards me. Even though I've only known this girl for such a short time, we're close enough to have these kinds of friendly quips.
You're an ass.
Or maybe not. Why's that?
I was looking forward to it. But I think I know what we need now anyway. We're ready to go.
Since when did she become Naomi? I wish that was the case. Such a change in character is unlike you. Oh, I'm reading in my narrator voice. Such a change in character is unlike you. I didn't know you had it in you. The day Kiyoko became hard-hearted, now that'd be a story to tell.
What story? We're going to the city, not the library.
It's not like you can't do both. Continuing with her actions, Kiyoko whisks her lab coat and blazer from their looped position atop a nearby desk, quickly burying them almost proudly. Fabric flowing down her slender body, so many images flashing in my mind at once. Even then, she's pretty cute.
It's just my lab coat. Stop staring.
But, do you really need that whilst in public? Close one. She almost had me.
Of course. Anything that involves science requires a lab coat. It's our uniform. I'll have to buy you one.
You really don't have to. The thought, however, is certainly appreciated. Getting a gift from her would be pretty nice. Actually...
What is it?
Never mind. I don't really want people to think I'm cosplaying as a mad scientist, let alone having to walk around whilst she's wearing one. As cute as she is, wearing something like that in public is still a little strange. Then again, it's her quirks which make her special.
Okay then, let's go!
Grabbing me by the hand, Kiyoko makes an unexpected move as she begins to drag me alongside her out into the corridor. Her skin, smooth and soft, has a ting of sweat as her warmth radiates out on this hot spring day. I can't believe we're actually holding hands. As we embrace the afternoon light, encompassed by another warmth between our fingers, the outside world greets us as we move through the courtyard. Kiyoko, still holding my hand, smiles as she continues looking onward, an afternoon of fun ahead of her. Meanwhile, I reach into my pocket in response to the chime of my phone, bringing it closer to my eyes. Having to look away from her, it's disappointing, but checking it won't hurt. I think that's too much to ask for. For you SoundCloud listeners and you Napster listeners, it's a text from Naomi and it says, "Don't have too much fun with her." Alright, transition time. Skip that. Cradled by a spring breeze flowing through the train's windows, Kiyoko leans back to relax in the seemingly uncomfortable seats, only to escalate the tepid tension by banging her head against the glass behind her. An act not only enough to startle her, but the surrounding commuters too. Just what do you think you're doing? As the glance of the crowd withdraw their heated nature, her soft fingers smooth over the back of her silky hair. I don't know if that sentence is reminiscent of English, but I could be wrong. A resulting sway catches against the afternoon light, her gentle motions puppeteering a dance into her otherwise stable coiffure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is. Life breathed into those strands for a short moment before returning to rest.
I just want to relax. The ride's long, you know?
Maybe you're just impatient. With her spontaneous nature, it's no surprise she's so giddy about getting there. Time continues to pass as Kiyoko and I sit in a relative silence to the world around us. A bustling train packed with the afternoon's commuters, rocking us side to side as its wheels skit along the tracks. It's not exactly easy for us to strike up conversation without the world around us shouting us down. Despite that spark inside her, her usual energetic mannerisms seem to have been held back. With this many people so close, I can certainly see why. Flicking my eyes towards her, she still keeps her small body leant back against the seat as her gaze is fixed against her phone screen. Her finger giving gentle swipes as she bites against those of her other hand, a look of thought. Something puzzling you? Even at times, she's bound to come across a conundrum or two of her own. She's only human.
Oh no, I'm just looking for more ideas for more experiments. Ones we can do together.
Having not really involved myself in the science behind the experiments, I still try to lend a hand to her whenever I can. Whenever she needs me, that is, which isn't too often. Still, I'm more of a watch cute girls do cute things type of guy, but getting involved couldn't really hurt. And you're doing this online? Not in any research papers or anything?
This is a research paper. It's as academic as you can get.
Kiyoko thrust her phone towards me with enough force to crack my nose if I was sitting a few inches closer. On the screen lies one of those scanned documents, plastered with jargon and diagrams only someone like her would understand.
Do you two mind being a little quieter? I'm trying to read.
Wow. Fuck you, girl. Oh, don't mind us. We're getting off the next stop anyway.
Ugh.
The response slipping out of my mouth before Kiyoko had a chance to open hers ensues a shot of disgust on the woman's face. Bringing myself to stand, I clasp Kiyoko's arms as she meekly pulls herself up to join me, an apprehensive expression joining her. Weaving us through the crowded carriage, I bring the two of us towards the door just as the train comes to a stop. We've arrived in the city.
Thanks for back there.
It's okay. Ah. You were reading too, right?
Right.
The attempt to soothe her feelings is amiss, but this frail girl behind me still holds my hand tightly, the image before us in the reflection of the door's glass. It's one of a couple. That idea might be a long shot, but it's not like I haven't been around her long enough to think about it. Boom, skip that. Standing in the midst of the world moving around us, Kiyoko and I remain together in the center of the busy city. My hand, despite now being separated from hers, still remains clenched as I cling onto that feeling. Set with the same scenario as before, spending time with Kiyoko in the city, I can't help but feel that sense of deja vu well within my mind. Try to go about this with that nagging thought of fixing her disheveled relationship with Naomi at the back of my head. Really, despite Naomi's pressure, I really would rather just have fun with her. Kiyoko, as evident as she's proved it to be, really does find hanging out fun. I wouldn't want to ruin it for her. When she's ready to forgive Naomi, she'll set about it herself. The feeling inside her will come to fruition. Now looking towards me with her bright eyes, Kiyoko takes no steps to hide her wild smile as her cheeks redden in a flushed state of excitement.
Come on, aren't you excited?
Returning her gaze, it really does seem like she's enjoying this.
I know shopping for stuff like chemicals isn't really that fun for you. After all, it was your idea to come here. But I promise I'll make it up to you. I'll buy you a coffee, anything, since you're my friend.
I don't know. A glass of orange juice might be nicer instead. Even if she has the wrong idea, I am enjoying myself. It wouldn't be too bad to take her up on the offer. Spending extra time with her, that is.
But I was going to get one.
We'll just have to have matching drinks. She smiles, giving me yet another glimpse of her apparently never-ending cuteness. It's endearing. For as long as we've known each other, maybe it'd come as a surprise for us to be this close, yet I can't complain. Rather, I'm enjoying it. Having set off with her on this trip, I really do feel we're becoming better friends. yet there's still unanswered questions left on my mind. The real issues now are her bonds to Naomi. It's what I'd promised to sort out. Skip that. With Kiyoko before me, we sit together at a table in the local cafe. 2 drinks, both orange juice, before us sit ice cold, trickles of water sliding down the side of the glasses. Looking around me, the cafe itself seems rather docile, perhaps, for a typical Monday afternoon. The images of commuters, office workers, and the regular urban crowds after a quick fix of caffeine floats around my mind. Yet the atmosphere is sparse, as if we're cut off from the outside world. Kiyoko sits on the chair in front, eyes glistening in the sunlight as she peers into her bag contently. Inside, an assortment of bits and bobs, vials and bottles, gathered from the dusty shelf of the chemical place, or so she called it. For such a store to be profitable in this day and age, with what online shopping really is a mystery. The old guy inside seemed to know Kiyoko though. It wouldn't be that surprising if she's kept him afloat.
With these, we can finally do more experiments.
She takes a sip of her drink, pressing her lips around the flimsy plastic straws provided to us. The scene before me, striking back to our outing only days ago, except now, Carrie's nowhere to be seen.
This tastes great.
It's only orange juice.
But it's good for you.
She's right about that. As she continues sipping, we fall back into a state of silence to be met by the sounds of the city once again. The sounds of a kettle brewing behind us, those of other customers chatting gently away. It's all a mellow melody played for us as we both take the moment to indulge in our thoughts. As I continue to watch her, Kiyoko's eyes meet mine as she returns to a gaze of conviction.
You wanted to know about Naomi, right?
Is it really that obvious? Just a little bit is all. A big understatement for a big task. Naomi herself set me out on this quest. All I'm doing is helping her. Despite her sassy personality, having saw her face reduced to tears really struck a chord. She might seem like she's in a league of her own, but it takes a lot for a girl to let a guy see them like that.
Really?
It's just because she's quite popular, what with being the track star. But we don't need to get into it. Kiyoko too is quite famous around the school. Having the smart girl be at odds with the sporty one, it's quite cliché.
Right. I have something to tell you.
Pointing her eyes downwards, Kiyoko's expression has visibly changed from one of carefree joy to that of sorrow. Memories brought back, yet with one standing out from the rest.
We just wanted to help her win. We really did. But they found out. We told them it wasn't her fault. They didn't believe us. She was banned from competition and kicked from our club after that.
You know, I've never always been in a science club.
A tale I've heard before, this time coming from the mouth of the one in the center, Kiyoko's side of the story. Sadness wells in her eyes, just as so seeping from her voice. This isn't an image I'd ask to see, but I knew I'd have to face it with her.
I used to be on the athletics team.
Oh, I didn't know. Blowing the lid on my bargaining with Naomi would be a bad idea, especially because I'm not getting anything from helping her, at least not from her own hands. The only thing I'd really want to see was to see them happy.
Well, as you can tell, I don't do that sort of thing anymore.
Kiyoko lifts her eyes from the ground, giving me a clearer view of their now glossy allure, teardrops welling up within them, yet never being able to fall. The only other sign of emotion, a quiver in her lip as her teeth sink into it. She's trying her hardest to get these words out.
There were everything you've heard.
A growing sense of sorrow continues to grow in Kiyoko's eyes, looking intently towards me as if waiting for a reaction. All I can do is give her a nod, a weak response to such a strong aura of woe, hardly comforting. Yet I can't bring the words to fruition. The rumors, of course I've heard, had never seemed so apparent until now. Before I knew her, the odd conversations, pieces of gossip, all of that had made it into my ears. I thought they were about the test, about her intelligence. I'd always thought they were wrong.
They ruined my race. She ruined my race. They made me look like I cheated. That's why it's hard to forgive her.
Cheeks now soaked by a stream of tears, Kiyoko makes no attempt to wipe them away. Her eyes still remain fixed to me. Even in this small cafe, it's hard not to draw attention with a girl in tears before me. I need to talk to her. Last time we defended Naomi, which of course we always want to do, but in this case, I guess we're gonna have to support Kiyoko. Unfortunately, but you know, this is the route we're doing. This in no way reflects the actual views of the Markapisu channel. We are, in fact, Naomi supporters. Anyway, I think you're right, he lied through his teeth. I can understand why it's hard to forgive something like that.
You can?
It's not as if Naomi's actions were thought out. Her plan to help Kiyoko win wasn't the brightest of ideas. I will not stand for this Naomi slander. It's probably why Kiyoko's the smart one. That's right. But I don't think she truly dislikes you. I think it's the opposite. Surely it must be hard for her too. She was your friend, right?
Well, why do you think that?
For the first time, the signs of anger fill Kiyoko's voice as she shouts out the question. I can't blame her. She's gone through a lot. Because if it wasn't, she'd be pretty heartless. You cherished your relationship. I think she would too. Her eyes return downwards, still moist with the streams of tears now flowing down her reddened cheeks.
It's not unreasonable, but I'm going to take some time to think about it.
Finally wiping away her tears, Kiyoko takes the final sips of her juice as I stare towards my distorted reflection in the glass. It's strange to think so much has happened from our first encounter, walking into a girl, engrossed in the new world she'd built for herself to escape the pain. A world separated from her past. I only had to bring that back for her. Besides, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Naomi. I'm going to have to talk to her again. Sorry about bringing it up again. I can't help but feel awkward about it.
It's okay. You can give me the money back for the drinks. Then we're even.
Despite minutes of low spirits, Kiyoko rebounds with a smug look plastered on her face. The signs of sadness still persisting against her features as she regains her composure.
But you're my friend. I can't hide things from you.
Gulping nervously, I know that I've been doing the exact opposite, conspiring with Naomi to fix their crumbled relationship, all without her knowing. All it means is I probably should challenge you in a race. Shouldn't challenge you in a race.
I'm still a good runner, but I'd rather focus on learning. I want to enter a university. I want to train periodically, though.
I don't get it. Kiyoko's complacent grin turns into one of a faux anguish. Of fox anguish. I mispronounced it. Rearing her cheeks like a pufferfish as she pouts at me intently.
It was a pun, silly. The periodic table.
Oh, right. Yeah, I knew that. It was just a tease. We should probably get going anyway. That, and I can still feel the stares of the few people around us after Kiyoko's emotional outburst.
Sure.
Seeing her reddened face graced by the sunlight, I can only consider myself lucky for stumbling across her. To think I'd become this close with the Kiyoko Ishikawa, the girl I renowned for her intelligence, It really is something. Watching her fiddle with the flowing stream of her brunette hair, matched by the look of innocence in her soft eyes, I'm glad I've come to know her. These feelings wouldn't be here if I hadn't. All right, fellas. Okay, looks like we get to skip. Awesome, skip-a-rooney. We'll keep going. I really want to end this on part 4. I think we can. So we're gonna go a little longer. Having spent the day yesterday with Kiyoko, I can't help but think more about the relationship between the two of them. Oh yes, we get to skip more. Awesome. I'm glad they add that one sentence of new stuff. Okay, Skippy. We're still Skippy. Speaking of Skippy, do you guys like smooth or chunky peanut butter? Do you like a little crunch? Let me know in the comment section below. This is a lot of skipping. Oh, wow. Oh, heck. Oh, gosh. We're going to have to save that one. No. Return. Let's go to boom, boom. What?
I don't know what to do.
Okay, so that was her question. Let's go back a little farther. Taking short breath words.
I just really want things to be normal again. I don't know what to do.
Okay. So last time we said Kiyoko feels the same. I don't care what route we were doing. We're never gonna say maybe you should try harder. I guess we'll just say I can understand in this case, I suppose. Maybe we might even finish this bad boy today. Who knows? Okay, Markapi says, I can understand.
What makes you say that?
Alright, looks like we've already seen this part. Yeah, okay. Apparently it doesn't matter what we say. Yeah, all of this is blanked out, so we've been through this. Back to the penis butt hair discussion. Skippy, what kind of Skippy are you guys using? Okay, saying like
the lab looks over. The two are there together.
That was a flashback, so we'll skip that. All right. Well, we have a lot of Skippy peanut butter going on here. Yeah. Let me know, smooth, chunky, extra thick. What kinds of peanut butter do you like? All right. There is a lot to skip here, and I'm just having a gosh darn field day. Look at that. Look at how much. Okay. Back to Kiyoko saying, let's rewind.
But I want to share that passion with people too. When I joined the athletics team, someone shared their passion with me. I wasn't even a good runner. I wasn't really interested in that first, really. But that desire to share what I love, she taught me that. Naomi. That's why I'm glad someone finally joined. I'm glad you're here.
Alright, we can skip again, because it is blanked out, and that's the rules. I don't make them, I just create them and enforce them. From coming to meet her by chance, the fact that our friendship had progressed this far in such a short span of time ignites deep-rooted passions within me. Having had no real ambition or drive, seeing the level of zeal within her heart makes me question the feelings of my own. I want her to be happy. I want to help restore her relationship with Naomi. Yet, as we walk down the corridor together in silence, I can't help but think, I want more than that. I want to coom. Oh, look at that. We might actually finish this bad boy. I said episode 4. Look at me. Part 3. Having only met Kiyoko not so long ago, it's strange to think about how far we've come. A girl captivated by the world around her. To know that she finds some sort of interest in me is a warm thought. Once seen her as mysterious, sensitive girl, plagued by rumors and speculations, I've come to know her as a happy, energetic girl surrounded by tribulations. No matter what it is, the feelings inside my heart are more than enough to make me understand why I enjoy spending so much time with her. Yet, through spending time with her, I've come to observe moments of sadness shining through her bright personality, the scars of her relationship with Naomi. For such wounds to heal, the coming days now rely solely on Naomi's actions to make things right again, to restore those bonds. I want to be able to help them. Alright, skippy, because it's blanked out. Unknown caller, it's Chitose asking about pizza. We are anti-Chitose in this household, in this domicile. Lots of skipping. I'm looking forward to skipping, it said. Okay, more skipping. Boomy boom. Mr. Kabir, sorry, you are on the sex offender list. We cannot talk to you. Let's keep going. Keep skipping. Keep skipping. Keep skipping. Skipping. Okay, I can hardly say I've ever been excited for the club, yet it would be a lie to say that I don't enjoy going there. From roping me into the club in an utmost puppy dog manner to casually spending our days together, being with her in itself is enjoyable. From what she said, and from how her actions, and from how her very actions, it's clear she enjoys it too. All in all, I can't consider that a bad thing. I was having a stroke, I apologize. More skipping. Alright, alright. Chitose, you can die in a hole for all we care, with thoughts of what life must have been like for Kiyoko, splitting from Naomi and meeting me. I can't help but feel happy for her. A warmth at the depths of my heart, knowing how alone she must have felt with her relationship severed. A cold world before me, before her, with half the school talking behind her back. In a way, I'm glad I found her. Alright, more skipping. The way this is looking, I feel like it's just like I read 2 sentences and then it's like, okay, back to like whatever happened last time, like in the Naomi route. So it's not too different. Yeah, this is more or less the same. Lots of blank faces, blank pages. Taylor Swift in this B. Okay, we're still skipping. Okay, there's Naomi, our girl, main girl. Okay, so it looks like Naomi always comes... poor choice of words. Naomi always enters the science club to apologize on her own, regardless of what happened. And then I think we're going to be asked to chase after Naomi or go or stay here and support Kiyoko.
Of course I understand!
Oh, Jesus. That was scary. Okay, footsteps ring out sharply, filling the room with sounds as Kiyoko's voice echoes throughout, her small, frail body disappearing from view as a feeling rushed past me. Okay, so last time Naomi ran out the room and Kiyoko stayed, but this time, vice versa, flippy flop, Naomi stays in the science room and Kiyoko runs off. And I guess we're gonna have to leave Naomi, unfortunately. The only thing remaining, the sight of Naomi's tears struck face as she stares back towards me with an equal amount of shock. The feeling once welled within my heart, telling me what to do as they rise up, boiling over passionately as the image of Kiyoko's teary face flashes in my mind.
Don't just stand there! Go! I'll be fine.
I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. Why? No. Last time we had the option. We had the option to... We didn't have to chase after Naomi. We chose to do that. But Naomi is such a good person that she says, hey, you go after Kiyoko. Wow. That speaks volumes about her character, her characteristics of sincerity and loving, caring friendship. She's empathetic. Man, I'm ending the episode there. Hashtag Naomi waifu numero uno. Get that trending on Twitter. That'd be epic. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Episode 4, Part 4 of Kiyoko's Route. It's going to be the finale. Whether we like it or not, I'm going to power through that bad boy, no matter how much it hurts me. Okay, do me 4 favors. Go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, help me find a girlfriend. And bye-bye.